Welcome back to What the Flick. That's Christy.
Hello.
I'm Matt. Ready Player One made its premiere at South by Southwest this weekend, and everything seemed to be going really, really well until the whole game crashed.
Yeah, so apparently, so these big premieres at South by Southwest have gotten increasingly big and exciting, and there's an energy in that room at the Paramount. This big, beautiful, old classic theater on Congress in the heart of downtown Austin.
Last year, Gray and I were there. I was there with Gray Drake and some other people when I was there for Rotten Tomatoes, and we saw the Charlize Theron movie, Atomic Blonde there.
I bet that was a blast.
And then she came out and talked afterwards. Or no, maybe before. It was great.
So yeah, so Spielberg actually came and introduced Ready Player One, and of course I'm sure the place went nuts. And
fun fact,
yes,
Steven Spielberg, longtime gamer. Not a lot of people know this.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Longtime gamer.
There's a youthful exuberance
and
about
so
him.
The movie seemed to be going spectacularly well, and then about 100 minutes into it, the whole thing stops.
But I guess it was at a moment of, again, we haven't seen the film yet, but it's a moment, like a climactic moment, like a battle scene, and like the sound just went out, and people in the audience were going like, pew, 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 to like make the sound effects of the battle. And then they stopped it entirely and rewound it a bit to get to that part again. And again, the sound cut out. And then I guess the third time it worked. And I can just imagine the panic attack people were having to have Spielberg in the room for that and have it cut out. Yeah.
And he said that he basically kind of had an anxiety attack over that. But by all reports, the movie still sounds pretty good in spite of that.
Yeah, we're hearing all good things. My editor, Roger Ebert, Ryan Tallarico was there, and he was saying that it actually kind of worked okay. It kind of was perfect. And everything, if you're on Twitter, just look up Ready Player One because it's just raves. Now, having said that, there's an energy in that room that kind of like inflates the experience, and then like go and see something at Sundance for the first time.
Or similar to when we go see a screening for, say, a raunchy comedy or a horror movie, and it'll be a screening where the studio has had, quote unquote, regular people come in because that energy can be infectious.
Yes. I saw, what did I see? Observe and Report one year at South by Southwest, which was like, okay, you know, but it was raucous. On the flip side of that, I saw Knocked Up for the first time at South by Southwest, which is a really good movie, and people loved it. So there definitely is like an inflated sense of experience there.
How many times have you seen a movie that mid-movie it's broken down?
Not usually mid, usually like in the beginning.
Right.
In the beginning, like the aspect ratio is off, or like the sound is off, or whatever, and then you can tell the publicist like, hey, it's off, and they fix it.
Yeah,
Has
the
that
screening,
happened to you?
I was complaining, I think, were you here when I was complaining about the screening for Game Night that took, because it kept getting loaded in wrong.
Yeah.
The only time I've ever had I've had a movie break down mid-movie once, and it was the animated climactic scene of Cool World.
Wow, we are digging back.
And the film like did the like
it popped and like
it popped and melted. Yeah, like it was that.
It was film.
Yeah, it was film.
It was the 90s.
Yes, so I saw Cool World in the theaters.
Yikes. But yeah, a lot of big stuff. Every year, more and more big stuff comes out and premieres at South by Southwest. A Quiet Place, John Krasinski's horror film that he directed and wrote and stars in, premiered and got amazing reviews.
I'm hearing
the trailer,
really good stuff about that.
I mean the trailer for that, well, I don't really try to watch a whole lot of trailers, but I've seen the trailer for this a couple of times, and it's edited and like it's sound design in a way that's really gripping and really tense. What else opened there? There was a Star Wars documentary called The Director and the Jedi, and just played today. And Rian Johnson and Mark Hamill did a whole Q&A afterward, and that, of course, made everyone go nuts, understandably.
Right, and that's the movie that captures how the crew kind of deals with that Carrie Fisher had passed away before filming was over. And
which was very emotional.
Right, I'm sure. Like I'm really excited to see that one.
Yeah.
One movie I'm actually a little bit more intrigued by now than I was is Blockers. Because I had thought Blockers looked terrible.
Because of the premise? What's it about? Tell us what's
it
about.
So Blockers is these 3 teenage girls are going out for prom, and their parents all decide that they're going to make sure that they don't get laid on prom night.
Don't lose their virginity.
Don't lose their virginity.
Even more traumatic. Even more traumatic.
Yes. So I'm just thinking like, oh, that looks lame. But then I was reading, Owen Gleiberman's writing about how the festival's got this good track record at putting out these kind of broad comedies that are actually a little bit sharper than you might otherwise think. Neighbors, Spy, Sausage Party, all
knocked up.
All premiered at South by. So maybe that's a good sign for blockers.
Yeah, it's a good crowd for that kind of movie. And it was written and directed by Kay Cannon, who wrote the Pitch Perfect movies. So she's clearly got an ear for like inappropriate girl dialogue.
Well, and I guess, as I think about it, it is somewhat subversive that you now, 10 years ago even, if we were trying to do a movie about three young teenage women out to lose their virginity on prom night, people would be crazy scandalized. And maybe there's a little bit of me that's like, oh yeah, okay.
Well, I feel like, the female raunchy comedy has definitely like found a place and it keeps pushing its boundaries, from Bridesmaids to Girls Trip to Rough Night. Some do it better than others, but maybe I guess this is a good one. Also, a movie called Fast Color opened at South by Southwest, directed by Julia Hart, who did Miss Stevens, which Alonzo liked a lot, and it stars Gugu Mbatha-Raw as a superhero. It's like a superhero origin story, but I understand that it upends all the conventions you might expect about a superhero origin story. I heard that's very good too. So,
and it's Gugu Mbatha-Raw.
Gugu Mbatha-Raw, who's amazing.
Right, she's in
A Wrinkle in Time.
In Wrinkle in Time, and then in the not so good Cloverfield movie.
She was in Beyond the Lights, which is super good and underappreciated, underseen. Gina Prince Bythewood, Beyond the Lights. So yeah, it has changed South by a lot over the years. I used to go starting in like 2000, and for that whole decade I went, and I joke that like Twitter changed it, but really the interactive part of it has made it just enormous. You can't get a hotel room now.
Oh God.
You have to plan like a whole year ahead of time to get
I go out tomorrow, which is the last day of the interactive festival.
Okay.
And then the rest of it is just the film and music festival. That last day, so my hotel room tomorrow night is twice the cost of the nightly rate of the rest of them because those tech people got stupid money to spend.
Are you downtown? Are you like walkable to all the stuff?
No,
Oh, good.
I'm downtown.
Okay. Yeah, that's the hard part because sometimes you have to be like 16 miles away, like up 35.
I think the first time I stayed in like the Residence Inn, way down. I think it was south, and then the other time I spent, it's like this nice hotel, like business hotel, but it was also way away. And I don't know if Lyft and Uber are working in
They
Austin.
must be. Well, I've taken a car in Austin. They must
but
be.
last year they weren't.
Oh.
Last year,
I think
the
festival?
or in Austin. Like last year there was an issue where Austin, if I remember correctly, Austin had said that Lyft and Uber couldn't operate.
Oh.
Yeah.
How do you get anywhere? How do you get to
I rented a car.
the Alamo Lemire?
Well, it's not a problem for me. I ain't going.
That's not going to any Alamo Draft House locations. But yeah, it has changed a lot. It used to be small and neighborhoody and kind of charming, and you could talk to folks you would never get a chance to talk to. And now it's massive. And like I give total credit to the folks who run it. They have managed to still get their arms around this thing and make it be about interesting art, even though it's exploded in other departments. So
I have friends that live there, so I'm already planning to go to the Hula Hut.
What is the Hula Hut?
The Hula Hut is what do you think the Hula Hut is?
It's a hut for hulas.
It is a Polynesian themed restaurant and bar.
That is in your wheelhouse.
I mean, obviously.
And barbecue, of course.
Right, and barbecue. I'll hit Torchy's. I'll hit some other taco
and
places.
Migas. I like migas.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to eat.
Yeah.
Micheladas and migas in the morning when you're hungover.
Yeah, good food.
Well, good. Well, tell us what you ate.
Yeah.
Are you going to actually see any movies when you go there?
Probably.
You're going for a panel.
I'm going for a panel. We're going to be doing a panel, and I'll be there. So I'll give you the report when I get back. Thanks for joining us, and Christy will run the show on Wednesday this week.
I'm not going to Austin. Bye.